I'm Dolly. Tea Time with Dolly is the name of my channel. I have a nice warm mint tea today. Mint that I grew out in the garden. Cups warms, it warms my hands on this cold winter day. So I'm going to make noodles because every year for Christmas, my family wants noodles, so it's become one of my Christmas traditions. So I thought I would share it, how I do it, because I had a request wanting to know how I make the noodles. In fact, I've had 2 people ask me that. So I thought I'll just make a YouTube video showing you how. I've kind of scrunched down because I've got this set so you can see the table to see me making them. Okay, are you ready? If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love it if you would hit like and subscribe. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with 2 cups of flour. I don't measure it exactly, I just kind of guess. I usually don't measure it at all, but I thought I would for the video. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, there's my 2 cups of flour. And then a teaspoon of salt. Then I will stir that up, combine the salt good with the flour, making a little hole in the middle of it. And I'm going to put 2 eggs. When I do it, depends on how much you want to make. If you want a small amount or a big amount, I figure about 1 egg per cup of flour. So you can make it more or less. If you make more, I would figure about a half a teaspoon per cup of flour, of salt, and about 1 egg. So since we have 2 cups of flour, I will put 2 eggs in. And then put some butter in. Guess I need to get another spoon for that. I just put a scoopful, maybe that's probably around a tablespoon. And then I'll put a little milk in. If you want to, you can put cream instead of milk and butter. The person that gave me the recipe many years ago ran a restaurant, and she made her homemade noodles. And she said cream, she goes, but if you don't have cream, just use a little butter and milk. So that's what I do. So I've got this like in the middle, a little well, so I'm going to stir it up real good until it turns into a dough. If it's too runny, or well, not runny, but if it doesn't stick together or not dry enough, just add more flour. And of course, if it's too dry, just add a little bit more milk. Okay, I'm going to flour my cutting board. I use one of these plastic ones, but you can use plastic or wood, whatever you have. Whatever that keeps you from cutting into the cabinet or the table. I'm at my table. Make sure your hands is clean. I just washed mine right before I turned the video on, because this is definitely a hands-on job. Or you can wear plastic gloves if you want. Really press that dough down good. Now I'm going to need to sprinkle a little more flour on here. Then I'll divide it in half. I put that in the bowl. Get ready to roll it out. There's our dough. I'm going to put a little more flour on because we don't want the rolling pin to stick to the dough. Really press down hard because you want the dough as thin as you can get it. And if the rolling pin starts sticking to it, then just stop and add a little more flour and smooth it out on there. So we want it pretty thin. I'll turn it over, roll it a little more. Okay, now cut it right into 4 pieces. A little more flour because you're going to roll it again. Make sure it's floured real well. I've got a little piece left over here, so I'm going to just cut it off, put it up on top. Okay, then we just start cutting it in really skinny little strips. In fact, I'm going to roll on there. So is everybody ready for Christmas? I think I'm almost ready. I've got one gift yet that I've ordered that hasn't arrived yet, but hopefully it'll be here in time for Christmas. And I still need to make some pumpkin rolls between now and Christmas Eve, because we always have pumpkin rolls also. My family likes pumpkin rolls and they like homemade noodles. So that's 2 of the things we always have for Christmas Eve. We always celebrate on Christmas Eve of the night. So we'll have that for our Christmas Eve dinner. Seems like Christmas is just here before we know it. Now, if winter will just go as fast as summer went. Of course, that also makes our age go faster too. Don't really want that. But I really don't like the cold winter. I don't think I would mind it too bad if I could just stay in the house all the time and I knew all my loved ones were in where it's warm and cozy and not have to be out in the cold and snow, but it doesn't always work that way. People have to go to work and people have to go to appointments, and so then you worry about them even if you're home, or at least I do. Okay, now it turned out my noodles are a little long, so I'm just going to cut them right in 2. I usually don't do that, but there we go. You see the noodles? Okay, I'm going to put them in this bowl. Take that half out. And there's my noodles. Now I'll roll this part out and cut them. And noodles freeze really well. I'm making mine now for Christmas Eve, but I will just put them in the freezer, and then Christmas Eve I'll actually cook them. Got plenty of flour on it, but you don't want to put them all, lump them together to freeze them. Put them out on a cookie sheet or something flat. Freeze them just long enough to get them hard, and then you can put them in a bag or Tupperware bowl or something. Otherwise, they'll be all clumped together when you're going to put them in your broth, and you don't want that. Okay, I've got my dough rolled out. I'll cut it in half. A little more flour on there. I'll cut that in half again. Just that back down, and there we go. Time to cut some more. Yeah, I usually serve mashed potatoes with my cooked noodles, and then I have a pumpkin roll, and usually somebody else brings, other people bring other things, desserts and other cookies and candies, and usually a vegetable tray, or just maybe a vegetable or something. We have usually quite a bit, and everybody pitches in, and that way it's not too awful much work on anybody. Especially since I can do the noodles ahead of time. Yeah. So I have a bowl of noodles there. So I will lay them out on something flat, probably 3 or 4 things, plates or something, and freeze them for maybe a half hour or so till they get hard. And then I can put them in a Tupperware bowl or a plastic bag or something. Let's see if I can hit it a little better. And then I'll just freeze them till I'm ready to use them. When you get ready to cook them, just have your broth ready. You can use vegetable broth. You can use veggie, cooked veggie meat and some stuff, or you can use chicken or turkey or beef, or whatever kind of broth you like, and put them in there. And maybe you'll want little pieces of meat in with there. And after, when they start to cook, if you're using meat, make sure it's already cooked. And then just I let it bring my broth to a boil. Once I put my noodles in, bring it to a boil, and then I turn it down on medium and kind of watch it and let it cook 10 minutes. And that's it. It's ready. Okay, I hope you liked this video, and I will see you at another one. Bye-bye.